whatever gifts you feel you're being called to share to the world, it's for a reason. So follow that intuition.
Okay, today we have one of my old good friends, Lala. Hi, Lala.
Mhm. Hi.
Hi. So, Lala is here to talk to us today about how she has used ESL to fund her dream business and build something that is so perfect for her and her fiance. So, we're going to get all into that. But a little bit first about Lala. She is the co founder of Holistic New Earth. I will put up her website, it's beautiful. She's a holistic healer, she's a therapist, a certified yoga and meditation teacher, and an online teacher. So, you got a lot of things going for you, Lala.
All the teachers.
Yes. So the last time you and I saw each other was actually in Thailand. We met randomly on an island
Hmm.
on the ferry, right?
Ran into each other on the ferry.
Yeah. So Lala and I both have been expats. Well, right now we're both in the States, but we have been living overseas in Southeast Asia. And Lala is actually the person that got me into ESL. Yes. So 4 years ago, Lala, I remember you telling me the story. You moved to Thailand with like $300 in your bank account. Wasn't it something crazy like that?
A little bit more than that,
Oh,
but definitely.
yeah.
I wish I was that brave, but
What?
it was a little bit of money. Yeah. It was right after college. I just knew I wanted to get out and just went for it. A huge leap of faith.
Yeah, that's amazing. And so you you used ESL to be able to just be like, peace out, I'm going overseas.
Well, actually, the plan initially was to teach in person in a school in Thailand, and my partner and I actually both got hired to teach in a school in Thailand, and we only lasted a few months because then we found out about ESL, and it was just like the light bulb, the life hack. It was so much more aligned to what we wanted to do because we wanted to travel and go all around Southeast Asia, so it was perfect.
Yeah, awesome. How did you find out? So you started with VIP Kid, right?
Yeah.
How did you find out about VIP Kid?
Um, actually, I was outside of a food truck in Chiang Mai, Thailand, and I met a friend, and he was just started telling me about VIP Kid, and then
Nice.
I joined.
You
Yeah.
know what? Okay, so then I was in Chiang Mai and Lala and I met up, and I remember we were sitting at a table eating at that Mexican restaurant.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
I was like, literally every single person at this table is a VIP kid teacher. I think there was only one
Yes.
person at the table that was not a VIP kid teacher.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So life hack, if you're graduating and you want to move overseas, just get an online ESL teaching job and you're good for a while.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's just perfect with the low cost of living over there and the simplicity of life. You don't need much and you don't need a lot to get by. So it's just the perfect way to make money and focus on yourself, focus on your passions, discover, explore, be out in the world, get out of your comfort zone. It's really awesome.
100%. Yes. And what I love so much about you bringing me into the ESL world is exactly that, and that's what ESL has been for me. It's been a way, and of course, I do love teaching, and I love the kids, and so I
Hmm.
couldn't have been with it this long if I didn't. But
Yeah.
it has been that tool that has allowed me to fund all of my passion projects. Right? I started guided misdirection because I had ESL. I had something
Hmm.
coming in to help me fund what I wanted to do, and you have
Hmm.
used it to help you do the same, right?
Yes, absolutely. And for me, it was more about this like exploration, this just becoming, this just being, as I started to travel, I started to find all these parts of myself that I didn't know existed. I started to connect with the community. I found yoga, meditation, spirituality. I fell in love with like Buddhism and Thai culture, and it just opened up a whole new world for me. And I'm so grateful for that. It's definitely helped me become who I am right now today.
Yeah, for sure. And can you talk a little bit about so holistic new earth? Can you tell people what is that exactly, and what do you and David offer to people?
Sure. So Holistic New Earth is basically a holistic wellness company, and what we do is we help people to live their best life. So we help people. basically with holistic counseling, nutrition, spirituality. So I design yoga programs for people based on their specific needs. I help people develop holistically intuitive eating habits. My background is in psychology, so I incorporate more like a holistic counseling approach. I look at body, mind, and spirit, how everything is connected. And we start to look at the root cause of blockages that are in the way of people, embodying their true potential and living their truth. So this will look like one-on-one counseling sessions. I meet weekly with clients, kind of like a life coaching type of thing. And we also do events. David is a DJ, and we do ecstatic dance events,
You
like
tango, right?
yeah, tiki tango, silly silly sober morning raves, and yeah, we're planning for retreats as well. Going to take it back to Asia, and yeah, we're really excited. It just feels like the perfect umbrella for everything that we love and are so passionate about.
So can you talk a little bit about what has been the most challenging part of building this? You're obviously really passionate about all of these things. How did
Mhm.
you go about like starting your own business doing this?
Yeah. Um, I would say the hardest thing is a little bit of imposter syndrome, as you step into your power and you start to get into this role of being a teacher and an educator and guiding people and holding space for people in a professional way. There is some self-doubt, that inner critic voice that comes in, you're not good enough, you're not ready. When you have this and this and this certification, this master's, or whatever that may be, then you can step into this role. And for me, it was all about diving in the deep end first, and just as an act of self love and believing in myself, just diving into it and realizing that each person is totally unique. And whatever gifts you feel you're being called to share to the world, it's for a reason. So follow that intuition. And I did that, and it's paying off so well and beautifully. And I'm learning as I go with each client. It's a beautiful dance, learning from each other. And so there's never a perfect time that you're ready. You just kind of got to go for it and trust that things will manifest as they should.
Yeah, for sure. I think that is the biggest hurdle in starting is imposter syndrome for sure, because you're always telling yourself that there's something you need first, right?
Right.
I need this certification first, or I don't
Hmm.
have the right equipment. I need to do this first, when really it's just saying, no, I'm just going to jump off and I'm just going to do it. I'm going to work with that first person, or I'm going to make that, if
Yes.
I'm help people build their brands on YouTube, I'm going to make that first video, right? And it's
Hmm.
letting go of
Hmm.
those things. And you realize once you start that was the hardest part.
Absolutely.
And then,
Starting is the hardest part.
yeah, because it's your own self that's holding you from it. And then once you let that
Yeah.
go, you dive in, and then you realize everything is there that you need. Those resources come to you, you find the right people, you find the right steps to go about to reach your end goal. But for sure, yeah. So
Absolutely. And there's also so much of this comparison game. You're comparing yourself to other people in the field, and especially in the wellness field and in the yoga world. There are so many people out there that are, stepping into this role and making these offerings. So for me, it was like, okay, what is unique about me? And doing that inner work and doing, like what is special about me, and just embodying that fully, and blocking the noise and the distractions, and knowing that we are unique. And the world needs us to be sharing our gifts. The universe is manifesting itself through us. So the sooner we realize that and step into our power, the better we can make the world.
yes, and that's so true, right? Everyone has their unique story, and that's what I've been realizing too, and working with others, is like, use your struggles, use your story and what makes you unique, because just because there are other people out there doing something similar to you, what you build is going to be unique because it's yours, and you bring your
Absolutely.
perspective and your talents and your struggles, right? That empathy with you to whatever you do, whether that is coaching, or
Mm,
whether that is therapy or yoga, or even a product. Like, I really believe you bring
yes.
those things with you. And so social media brings that really, what's the word I'm looking for? Comparison is just it's the root of all evil in starting a business.
Absolutely. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
And for me, like the biggest shift was realizing that there is enough space and room for all of us to share our gifts. We are, my offerings, your offerings, nothing will ever be like what someone else has to offer. So, yeah, just remembering that through every hurdle, through every little inch of doubt, just pushing through it. And it's so worth it.
So worth it. Do you think it has been helpful to have David? David is Lala's partner and fiance, right?
Hmm. Hmm. I'm not wearing my ring right now. I feel like such a bad fiance.
Oh, well, David is Lala's partner. Sometimes, and do you think it was helpful to have him alongside you in building your business?
Absolutely. I feel so privileged and honored that we share so many of these passions, and we've discovered a lot of it together through our travels and immersing ourselves in these spiritual communities. So he's my support system. He's so wonderful. He's like really great at design. So he worked on the website. I'm more of like heart-centered, coming up with the teachings and offerings. We just work really well together. And it's really nice to have someone there to lean on. Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. I think that is something really important when starting something of your own. If you don't have, maybe it's not like a business partner even per se, but having some sort of a support system is so huge. Because
Yes, an accountability buddy.
yes, because it is lonely. It's a lonely road. And even as expats where you are kind of living outside of like the cultural norm bubble, even a lot of expats, they don't own their own companies. They're also teachers, right? So starting
Mm-hmm.
something new is scary and different, and not a lot of people can give you advice on it other than, you
Mm-hmm.
can find a lot online. But if you can find that one person to kind of
Yes.
come alongside you, and if they're doing their own thing, it really does make all the difference to have that sort of accountability.
Yes, absolutely. And something that I really loved about my community in Chiang Mai, we would have accountability groups and hubs. So people that want to start their own business, or people that have an idea that they want to bring forth to the community and they need support, they need like a feedback. So we'd meet up weekly and hold each other accountable and set weekly goals and just check in with each other. And having this community support, I think, is just essential, truly,
Yeah,
as we learn from each other.
for
Yeah.
sure. And I love that too. You say like you're not sure about the idea and you share and you kind of get feedback from people.
Yeah.
That's too, and that's something that I've learned with the Office Any Chair. Like I've been this time around, I have sent my product or like the design to things to so many of like family members I trust and friends I trust and said like, what do you think about this? What do you see that I'm not seeing? And they've had really good ideas, and like we've just added something new because my uncle sent me something and I was like, that's a really good idea, I'm gonna do that. But even like
Yeah.
feedback is so helpful. I love that.
Yeah.
I was able to meet a lot of your friends in that Chiang Mai community, and they were so. I remember Jean is just like the nicest person. For some reason, her name
Jean!
just came into my mind.
Oh my gosh. Shout out, Jean. Love you so much.
I remember you because you were so kind.
Oh.
Let's dive in again. I love this. This is so. I miss you, girl. Mm-hmm.
I miss you too, girl.
So, for people who don't know, what does a holistic healer mean to you? Or is there like a sort of like a generic, what is a holistic healer and what does it mean specifically to you and what you do?
Yeah, that's a really good question. So for me, holistic healing is looking at the whole body, the whole system, body, mind, spirit. So when I think about the mind, I think about therapy. So I love the idea of holistic counseling because personally, from being in therapy for so many years, I feel like talk therapy can only reach you to a certain place because a therapist isn't really checking in with your diet. A therapist isn't checking in with your lifestyle habits, isn't checking in about your mindfulness practices day to day. So for me, being a holistic healer is looking at everything, looking at trauma, looking at the stories that we're believing that may be holding us back, looking at nutrition, looking at yoga, looking at movement. Yeah, just assessing the whole system and using that as a tool for healing, to learn, to transform, to evolve, and to build this connection with ourselves.
I love that. Really
Yeah.
cool. And I feel like Holistic New Earth it combines all of those things through you and David.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How do people decide? So I know actually if this interests you, if you're watching this right now and this interests you, you offer like 25-minute free sort of like consultations, right?
Yeah. Yeah. The first call is always free, our free little discovery call for 25 minutes. And then if we feel like we're a good match for each other, then we will start scheduling weekly calls. And in those weekly calls, I will develop a holistic lifestyle map for you. So we will work on everything from morning routines, evening routines. I record make I record personalized yoga programs. So I'll make a personalized yoga video for you, your own practice with meditation as well. I will send you breath work, guided meditations, holistic nutrition ideas and guidance, so much more. Just everything. I just push it all in there.
Ah, that's
Sometimes my clients tell me, like, Lala, slow down. I can only incorporate these changes a little bit at a time. And it's a work in progress. I'm learning as I go as well. But it's for me, living in Asia for the past 5 years has really just opened up my world as I've learned about so many of these things. And I love serving as a bridge between East and West for a lot of these people that are curious about these Eastern teachings and ways of living that maybe aren't ready to make the jump and go live over there or don't want to, but they're still interested. So I just love merging those worlds in a very attainable and effective way.
yeah, for sure. That's awesome. And um for anyone who's interested, let's all go to their first retreat. It's in Bali. I'm going.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, I'm there. I'm there. I already, Lala and I were talking before this, and I was saying how I was supposed to go to Bali right when COVID was hitting, and so now I'm like, just get me back in Asia. And so I'm gonna try and be there. I'm telling you right now.
Come to Bali. It's a dream.
Um, okay, so I want to dive back into a little bit more about just how you've used ESL to build your business, because I know a lot of teachers watching this, they have that idea, they have that thing that they're passionate about, that they're wanting to start, and maybe there's that fear or they're just not sure how to go about that. So how did ESL specifically help you in building your business?
I would encourage people that are interested in teaching ESL to use it as a way to travel and to go abroad and to live these experiences and surround yourself with different kinds of people from all over the world, to really get out of your comfort zone and just use it as a tool for self exploration. That's basically what it was for me. It gave me the freedom and the time to just be in the world. And this is how I started to uncover what my heart passion really was. And over time, it just started developing into this business. But when I first moved over there and I found ESL, I had no idea that I would discover the world of yoga and holistic wellness a lot, all of this. So I'm super grateful for ESL, but I think I used it in a very non-conventional way.
Yeah. Well, and same here. And
Yeah.
I think that is the beauty of ESL, and that's what a lot of young people, in their like, they graduate or they take that
Hmm.
gap year and they find ESL, and it is that way to see the world, right? It
Yeah.
allowed me as well. It allowed me to see the world and open my eyes to new cultures and things that I wanted in life, or ways that I wanted to live instead of this Western way of living. And that's not for everyone, but even if not, it still gives you a lot of that time and that freedom to
Yeah.
grapple with these things, or to see more of the world, or to just spend more time at home. Maybe that's spending time at home with your family, or just being able to have that time to kind of process what you want
Right.
to actually do, because you are able to work from anywhere at home. And the big bonus is if you're living in a country where you can rent is $300 a month, right? So
Yeah. Yeah. And I think right after graduating college, so many people jump straight into the career world. And for me, I just wasn't interested in that. I knew that there was so much more that I wanted to learn about myself. And it's just a really nice tool to break out of that, like matrix of you graduate, you go to this job and you're climbing this career ladder. And, for me, it just that didn't resonate. So if anyone is really interested in exploring more before diving into like a career, I think it's just the perfect way to do that.
Yeah, for sure. And I am forever
Yeah.
grateful for you for showing me VIP Kid because I, well,
Look at us.
what would I be doing?
I know. What
I,
would you be doing?
yeah.
What did you study in school? I'm just curious.
I studied history and political science. So that's why originally I went to Vietnam, is because I
Oh,
forced Dr. Strom to take me there because I wrote my thesis on females who served in the Vietnam conflict.
oh, amazing.
Mhm.
And that's what started Guided Misdirection.
Right. And that's what started Guided Misdirection, which was my travel company.
Yeah.
And then from there, yeah, I didn't know, I came back after graduating and I was like, corporate life, I can't do it.
Yeah.
I cannot do it after
Yeah.
spending so many years of just like doing what I was told to go into a job where that was the end goal, was just to like do what I was told until I
Exactly.
got to be making a ton of money, or at the top of what? And the politics, don't
For
even get
what?
me started, right? I was like,
Oh, girl. Yeah.
and so yeah, I bartended and I worked a catering job and built it up. And then we had a conversation. I learned about VIP Kid and I said, okay, I can go now.
Oh my
And that's how it started.
gosh. That is so amazing.
Yeah. So all these years now, 4 years later, and here we are making this video, and we have both built businesses, but ESL has been like that tool. So that is why I am so passionate too about like
Yeah,
sharing this job with others, because
absolutely.
it gives you that freedom.
It really does. I'm so
Yeah.
proud of us. Look at us full circle.
I know, full circle. And I'm so excited now to like see your business, and I'm definitely going to be at some of those things. You know it. I'm coming.
I'm expecting you there. Hello.
Yeah. um so to end, thank you so much. This has been really enlightening. And
Mhm.
I love hearing you talk about these things, because you can tell when you talk about it that it's what you're meant to be doing, and you are so passionate
Mm,
about it. And I know your clients are very lucky to have you. And I can tell even when they're
yeah.
saying like we're overwhelmed, it's because you get so proud. You're probably even more
I'm
excited
like,
than they are.
oh.
Yeah.
Yes.
So to conclude, what advice do you have for other teachers, or final thoughts you have for other teachers that are wanting to start something on their own? Maybe they're already an ESL teacher. Like, what's your advice for them to start building?
Hmm. I think if you're working from home, the most important thing that I've developed has been self-discipline and setting a very strict schedule for myself. Working from home, it can be hard to keep yourself accountable in all the goals outside of your work that you want to accomplish. So I would say to make very specific weekly goals and intentions and actually put in the time, connect with people, network, do your research, and dedicate more time to your craft than you would to your work. Find that beautiful balance and just go for it. Reach out, ask for support, tell your family, share it with your friends, and you got to start somewhere. So just go for it.
I love it. Self-discipline is huge.
Self-discipline. Yes.
Best piece of advice that people have given on this segment. Setting, especially as you work for yourself, it can go either way, right? You can do it. There can be the reverse where you're putting too much time in and it takes over your world. So you're for sure.
Yes.
It is like you
To
said, it's
find the balance.
balance.
Yes.
But
And I love the idea of keeping little promises to yourself every day. Start small and just this is how you build self-trust. Keep promises to yourself every day, and before you know it, you're building these really healthy habits and you're starting to feel more creative and intuitive and in the flow, and things will just start to manifest quickly for you.
for sure, for sure. And going along with that manifestation too, and I know this is something you probably teach too, is like say things to yourself in the present. Do you know it's
Yes.
happening right now? It's not that it's going to happen later on. And that's something I do with my clients, is we talk about things. Your affirmation has to be that you're helping people now. It's not later
Yeah.
on, because even like you're bringing it to yourself by saying it over and over again. And if you don't even believe it
Hmm.
right now, guess what? If you keep saying it to yourself, it will become true. That's how it
Absolutely.
works.
Yes, these are affirmations and they're so powerful. Using them in the I am format is really powerful because it's working at the subconscious level, and what your subconscious is listening to every day, you know, it starts to believe. So over time, if your thoughts are, I'm not good enough, I'm not ready, who am I to dot 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 dot, your subconscious is believing that and you're starting to embody that. But on the opposite end of that, if you're practicing these affirmations, writing it down, saying it out loud to yourself, looking at yourself in the mirror and repeating to yourself, you know, your mantras or whatever, your intentions, your subconscious will pick up on that. And this is how manifestation works.
Yes, exactly. And we definitely don't do it enough, especially in the States. It's just like
Actually.
it will change your life if you start doing it, because your thoughts really determine your future. And so
Mm-hmm.
if you look in my bathroom, I have things written everywhere because I have to remind
Yes.
myself, because it's so easy,
Mm-hmm.
especially I think too as a woman, it's easy to talk yourself down, or maybe you didn't even realize it, but it was a little bit ingrained in culturally just how you grew up, depending on especially
Mm-hmm.
where or how your family was, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You can fix that by talking about yourself now in that present affirmation of what you want to be. Say that you are it now
Yeah.
and see your life change.
Yeah, and the most important thing is actually believing it to be possible. So I tell all my clients in meditation, the first thing we work on is visualizing you as a completely whole, healed person, being. You know, if you don't believe that and you don't start there and you don't believe that your business will be successful and you don't believe or even see yourself in this role, it's really not going to happen for you, not in the magical way that it can, you know, or in a much slower way, probably.
Yeah.
What's meant for you will be for you, but the faster you start believing it and embodying it, then things will just.
All right. Well, Lala, thank you so much for coming on my channel today. If you want to know more about Holistic New Earth, then I have the link down below. And also check out Lala's Instagram. You can chat with her on there, and you can set up a time on her website if you are interested in doing that consultation to see if you'd be a good fit for her program. All right.
Thank you. I love you.
You too.